Yeah. Okay, welcome for visiting lecture today with the DMI student the Baptist University Malawi. Welcome to the Honorable Mr. Edson Chikondi as a lecturer or EI consultant for the topic today is cultural awareness in human resource management. And for today's session, we'll be being live streamed on the University STEKOM YouTube channel. And now I will read our agenda this afternoon. First, we will start class selection by Mr. Edson Chikondi and continue with the Q&A session and then thermal picture and last time is closing. So let's begin. We will start class presentation by Mr. Edson. The time is yours. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much for hosting me. And I hope by the end of my lecture, we'll be able to have generated new knowledge and having a shared understanding of what cultural awareness is in terms of its role within an organization's performance. So as the host has already said, my name is Edson Chikondi, and I'm a lecturer at DMI University office. And once again, thank you for having me. So basically, my understanding of culture is the lens through which we all interpret what is happening around us, all right? How we go about attaching definition or rather understanding to everything that is happening around us. So in an organization, again, that means culture becomes a very important part, as it is we are all a part of we all have some cultural beliefs within us that define how we see the world. So within an organization, it is very, very important that the management or the organization is aware of the cultural background of all the people within the organization. So that's a brief background on what cultural awareness is and why are we talking about it today. Because it plays a very, very crucial role within the workplace. Okay? It is in our values, in our beliefs, even the way we behave is part of the culture of where we are coming from, who we are, and why we behave the way we behave as people. So for any organization to be successful, it should be aware of the cultural traits within the organization. All right. So it is for any organization to be effective. The management should be aware of the cultural traits within the people that are part of the organization. So the other part of culture that is very, very important is to understand that there is cultural diversity. We come from different backgrounds. So it means the traits that we have talked about that constitute culture, there will be differences on how we see things, how we behave, how we look, or even how we react even to a similar situation. Two people from different cultural backgrounds will react different. So one thing that I've observed that has made the cultural awareness to also be of very, very importance, has come to prominence, is the emergence of globalization. Because of now we are becoming a global village. Even though we have, due to the globalization, there's been some form of merging of cultures, we are becoming one global family. It has also made the differences between us to be more pronounced. All right. So for any organization, for any entity to be successful, there is need to be cultural aware. All right. In whatever environment within which an organization is operating, there is need to put a deliberate policy to ensure that there is inclusion. All the people are treated the same with respect. They are all given a fair chance or an equal chance. There is equity within the organization in how the organization operates. Right? So when you are implementing any project or any activity, and you are aware that there is diversity within the workforce, there is diversity of ideas or how people approach work. The most important thing that diversity and inclusion will bring to the table for the organization is it ensures that there is the product at the end. When you have tasked people to do, it becomes more rich or more pronounced because you have taken the best out of people from different backgrounds to form one idea that is more richer than if you focus on one area or one group of people. So being open-minded and being able to listen to different ideas from different people will be a very crucial component to a success of an organization, especially now with one of the challenges that globalization has brought to be intense competition. You need the very best to be able to be successful in today's global market. So having a clear or a deep understanding of diversity and inclusion and play a very crucial role in ensuring that the organization can be successful in today's world. So moving on, some of the benefits of being culturally aware in today's workplace or in today's economy, it ensures that there is improved communication and team dynamics. All right. Making sure that everyone is aware of diversity, of different backgrounds, and the need to be tolerant, and the need to be accepting of different viewpoints within the workplace, and lead to people having ability to be more resilient, having the ability to open up to new ways of doing things. All these things can add up to the organization being able to meet both the medium term and the long term goals and be able to survive in today's intense competitive world. The other thing with cultural awareness that is very crucial to an organization is talent attraction and retention. In today's world, people, when you want to recruit people, one of the things that potential candidates do is to go to an organization's website to check what does the organization stand for, what is the culture within that organization. All right. What do people say, the people that work for that organization? So if you are more tolerant, if you are aware of the different backgrounds of the employees, there is a high likely chance that you'll be able you'll be able to retain the best talent. You'll be able even to attract people, because everyone will know that they'll be able to fit in, even if they are different. They will not be prejudiced against because they do not fit the norm. So it is being culturally aware. It's very, very important. Even here in Malawi, we are going through that a lot. Most companies now, you find that they make sure that all the activities that they are doing within the organization, you find that they put those on all their social media platforms, team building exercises, things like employee of the month, things like even their corporate social responsibilities. Those things, they help in ensuring that everyone is aware of the culture within the organization, of how they are able to recognize and be accepted of and being accepting to new ways of doing things. So it is very, very important to be cultural aware in the success of an organization. The other thing is a highly motivated and a highly engaged team within organization can also help in ensuring that there is a good customer relationship with the organization's customers. You know, people, when they know that the organization has their backs, and you are able to even give in, you are able to build part of that customer relationship. The employees who own the process will take it upon themselves to ensure that there is no failure, as they are part and parcel of the team that developed the customer relationship strategy. So by being able to be of accepting of different ways of doing things, the HR within the organization can be able to enhance the ability of the frontline workers, those that deal with customers, to be able to build very, very good customer relations. So some of the challenges that cultural awareness has to be aware of, or some of the pitfalls that HR faces when they are implementing some of these initiatives, is one of them has to do with the fact that people are coming from different backgrounds. Conflict has to be anticipated and it has to be mitigated. There should be clear lines of arbitration in terms of conflict resolution. Everyone should be aware. All right, if I meet this challenge, how do I go about making sure that it is remedied within the organization? So the other challenge that is there is bias, prejudice, and stereotypes. This, with the, again, foreign direct investment, globalization, and the like, you find that when a foreign company has invested, like, for example, here in Malawi, they would want the top management to be people from the parent company. So when they come here, they have their way of doing things, which is culturally different from the way things are done here in Malawi. So the problem comes in terms of culture shock. So one of the things that international HR advocates for is to mitigate the shock that comes in when someone is operating in a new environment. So it is very imperative that international managers are aware of these challenges, for example, the culture shock, and how they can be able to mitigate it to ensure that they are able to be situational aware of where they are going, the cultural norms of this environment within which they'll be operating, so that they can be able to be successful, without which companies have shut down just because the people running or management weren't aware of the cultural norms within which the organization is operating. The other thing is now is on the legal part of implication of it. There are, like in Malawi, the local government authority can literally declare any day a holiday, a public holiday, based on the maybe whatever is happening in the country. So by law, it means all the companies are not allowed to operate on such days unless they provide essential services. So for an organization that is being run by people from outside of Malawi, it becomes a very, very big challenge unless they are made aware by the HR department of the legal implications of operating on such public holidays or under such situations. It is even detrimental to the morale within the organization if the people, the local staff, are told to go to work when they know that that is the time that they can spend it with family because it's a national holiday. So under such circumstances, it is very, very important for the organization or for the management of an organization to be culturally aware of the environment within which they are operating. So culture is really an important part of our day-to-day running of an organization. Everyone should be well aware, especially management. So as management is being aware, how do they make sure that the cultural awareness programs or strategies that the organization wants to implement to ensure success are being transmitted throughout the organization? Because these strategies should stem from key performance indicators of the organization, which come from the organization's strategic plans. So the HR should be able to extract those key performance indicators and form strategies that are culturally responsive to ensure that there is that cultural awareness across the organization. Everyone should be aware that we are moving in this direction. Okay, so some of the strategies are training and development programs for employees. Right? There is this new phenomenon of emotional intelligence. Everyone should be trained on such strategies to ensure that they're able to handle being in an environment where they are people from diverse backgrounds. All right, I've talked about globalization, foreign direct investment that brings in people from different cultures. But you can agree with me, even within our countries like Malawi, we have different people from different backgrounds. So even locally, without going international, but locally, we have people from different backgrounds. So these programs that help people to be culturally aware should be even implemented, even if the organization is a local organization. But just to make sure that there is tolerance, to make sure that everyone is aware and being accommodative. Because as I already said, as one of the importance of being culturally aware is it helps to bring diverse ideas which will benefit the organization in coming up with good strategies or good solutions to offer to their customers. All right. So the other part is there should be a deliberate policy by the HR department to ensure that you're able to embrace diversity when you are doing your recruitment. To ensure that, and right now in Malawi, like for the Employment Act of Malawi, it has been revised, it has been amended to come out clearly to ensure that there is diversity and inclusion when companies are doing recruitment. So it will not only be good for an organization, but it will also be the most ethical thing to do. That would even enhance the reputation of the organization by ensuring that when we are recruiting, we don't discriminate based on where your background, ethnicity, race, religion. And now it has become the norm that whenever an organization is producing an advert for recruitment, they always put that at the end of the message to say we are an equal employer. We don't discriminate based on gender, race, ethnicity, and the like. So by ensuring that this is part of the organization, the strategies can be able to answer the cultural awareness part. That is the HR demands that it runs through the organization. So basically, each and everyone has a role to play within the organization. How do they do that? The management should be able to implement strategies across the organization, ensuring that it comes out clearly on what each and everyone should be doing. So I just also wanted to touch on how can we go about now ensuring that whatever strategies we have implemented are bearing the results that we wanted, all right? Or ensuring that our strategies are relevant to what the organizational strategic goals are. Are they achieving what they are intended to achieve? All right, so you can do surveys of the employees, the people that are supposed to be the primary beneficiaries or the primary implementers of these strategies. Their input would be very, very crucial in ensuring that there is success in the implementation of these strategies. The other thing is turnover rates. Employee satisfaction, one of the indicators is turnover rates. Others call it attrition rate, right? So the amount of people that are leaving the organization, that can be an indicator of how satisfied people are or how comfortable people are or how happy people are within the organization. All right. So some people might come from very minority groups. They might not feel welcomed. They might feel threatened. They might feel not being heard. So they might end up leaving the company. So the turnover rate is very, very important indicator in terms of success of this HR awareness strategy. The other now is customer feedback. All right. You might want your employees to exhibit certain traits when they are interacting with customers. So you can measure those traits by asking the customers if they are able to see those things when they are interacting with your employees. And if there is need, then you can make adjustment on the strategies that are being implemented so that they can be relevant in ensuring that the organization is able to answer these questions. So some of the recommendations in ensuring that there is an HR cultural awareness strategy that will be able to make the organization successful would be having strategies that are specifically responsive to inclusivity, all right? Because sometimes we tend to take different ideas from us as a threat to us. The HR should be able to come up with policies or trainings that help employees to embrace inclusivity, to understand that everyone just wants what's the best for the organization, and be able to accept different ways of doing things. Okay, so the other one is collaboration. Okay. Interpersonal skills will only be able to mean something within an organization when people are comfortable to work with people from different background from them, people who have different views, people who behave differently from them. So if people are aware that it is okay to be different and they are comfortable to express themselves and not face repercussions, if that is the culture within the organization, there will be increased collaboration within the employees. There would be increased enriched outcomes when you have put people together to provide solutions, to provide alternative ways of doing things. All right. And the last one that I wanted to touch on was to have deliberate support systems, especially for the people that are in a minority or are underrepresented. All right. There should be a deliberate policy by the HR and management in general to ensure that the people that needs empowering have the necessary resources and they are given the time and management give them the resources so that they are able to be at par with their friends that they are working with. Because when people feel empowered, they feel motivated. When people feel that they are being heard, their levels of satisfaction goes up. So because of those things, the things that we talked about, the attrition rate, people will be able to stay longer because they are feeling valued within the organization. people will be able to contribute more beyond their call of duty because they feel like they are part of something. So cultural awareness is an important and an integral part of the success of any organization. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you for your participation. And for our participant, if you have any questions for the speaker, please enter to the chat or you can raise your hand. Yeah, for our first question, we have a question from Mr. Amin Tohari. How can ER influence organizational culture to support diversity and multiculturalism? That's all, and thank you so much, sir. The question already read in the room chat.
Yeah, all right, like I talked about on the question of diversity and multiculturalism. When the HR, like I talked about things like when you are recruiting, you should be able to ensure that such people that you want, they should be comfortable to work with people who are coming from different backgrounds from them. Even like I talked about the product or the service that the organization has to produce, it should be able to sell that product to people from different backgrounds. How do you do that? Is to understand the different or what makes us different. Is it a good thing or a bad thing? It should be a good thing because in difference, it means the outcomes are also different, which means at the end of the day, whatever we're going to do, the sum of the parts are less than what constitutes the whole thing. So when we have different building blocks, that stems from multiculturalism, we'll come up with a whole that is better off than if we just focus on one culture or one background or one type of people. So multiculturalism is very, very important. So when an organization is recruiting, that should be emphasized. When the organization is implementing its internal strategies, the HR department, as I've said, the strategies should also be very much aware. Because when you let one background or one cultural background to be the dominant, the people that are underrepresented will not be able to contribute to the success of that organization. So it is very important for the organization or for the HR department to be aware of the multiculturalism that is out there, especially in today's global world. The next one was on how can organizations effectively incorporate cultural awareness into their human resource management practices to ensure enhanced employee satisfaction and productivity. I touched on this when I was talking about feedback, doing employee service. All right. The success of any strategy, it depends on the people that are going to implement that strategy. So the thing is, you want the multiculturalism awareness to be reflected across the whole organization for that to be successful. You should also be able to go as an HR team. You should also be able to go through each and everyone, do a survey, have group discussions, understand, even get contributions from the people that are implementing these strategies within the organization. Say, okay, are you culturally aware? If you find out that there is need to offer trainings in terms of cultural awareness, you should be able, as HR department, recommend that to management and say, okay, our employees need to be trained on how they can be able to be cultural aware, right? Being able to listen to ideas, being able to accept that people come from different backgrounds. In that way, you build something more stronger, and people will be able to implement organizational strategies as they will be able or comfortable to work with people that are different from them. They'll be able to listen and accept other people's ideas. In essence, this would bring in harmony within the organization. It will bring in camaraderie, okay? The ability of people to even be more than just work colleagues, to be friends. That can even help to build a culture within the organization, a system where there is collaboration, a system where people are comfortable to talk to each other, all right? Because you are aware that that person will look beyond your cultural background or your ethnicity or your race or your religion, and listen to the content of what you are telling them and be able to take it and implement it for the good of the organization. All right. I think those are the questions. I don't know if I've missed anything.
Okay, thank you for answering. I think it's very clear answer from Professor. Okay, before I proceed, for our participant, please open your camera. I will take the picture with one of three. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay, another one, 2, 3. Okay, thank you. Thank you for your input. Finally, we come to the end of visiting lecture today. We would like to thank you for Mr. Edson Chikondi for the wonderful information and sharing your knowledge. We hope this information will be beneficial for all participants. At least we hope to have more collaboration in the future with the EST and the Vocational University in Malawi. The visiting lecture for today and here. We hope to see you soon. Thank you and have a nice day.
Thank you so much.